Coach Jim Schwab, JCCC women's soccer head coach. Coach, you had a very busy last week. You traveled to Texas to take on some tough competition. Had a game at home versus Coffeyville, and then 2 games on the road again with Neosho, then to Dodge City. Could you talk about your team's performance and also let us know about some key performers?
I'll tell you what, Jim, we went down to Texas. It was great for the girls to get away. And we played Navarro, which was one of the top 5 teams in the country. We played probably the best 90 minutes of soccer since I've been coaching the women's team. Everybody played very consistently. We got a little unlucky at times. They had 3 or 4 international players that played very well. I thought the key players, Lauren Lockey, played well. Kelly Voigts just played unbelievable in goal, Jim. I mean, she was dynamite as always. But you know what? Emily McKinney probably played one of her better games. And then from there, you know what? We ended up losing 2-1. We played Richland on Sunday. Had a great day off on Saturday when the kids goofed around in Texas, sightseed a little bit. And then from there, we ended up coming out a little sluggish on Sunday. I was disappointed with the team on Sunday. We got off to a good start. We were up 1-0. Just it seemed like we just pulled a cord. Somebody unplugged us. We ended up losing that game 2-1, and we should have. We weren't the better team that day. Richmond had a good team, and they were a good test for us. And then, as far as then we came back and had a home game against Coffeyville, and I think the girls were looking forward to redeeming themselves. I mean, we got on a 2-game losing streak. Played good soccer one day, didn't play good soccer the next, but ended up beating Coffeyville 10-0. But the girls, played well. I think Megan Weston came out second half and played really well. We had a lot of good performances from a lot of different people. I think Allie McMahon, I think Whitney, I think Rachel played well on that game. And then we went to Chanute. We played Neosho, and Neosho's physical. They were good. We missed a couple early chances, and we ended up beating 1-0. We had a PK, about 15 minutes left to go in the game. But very impressed with the girls. Everything wasn't going our way that night, and they still got the win out of it. And Neosho was much improved from last year.
All right. This week you have another busy week with the game today versus Garden City at home, and then you're on the road to Butler, and then you host Barton on Saturday, and then next week, a week from today, you take on Cali on the road. Can you talk about how your team matches up in those games, and how do you keep your team focused?
Well, the big thing, Jim, is like today with Garden City, coming off a road victory in Dodge, 10 hours, 11 hours on a bus. But I think the girls always perform well at home. But as far as your question about keeping them focused is, I think the more you play down the stretch, the better off they are. At least that's what I've felt. So far, Jim, we've been lucky. We haven't had a lot of injuries. We've had bumps, bruises, pulls, nothing that would sustain one of the key players being out for 4 or 5 games. So let's knock on wood there. But you know what? Keeping them focused. I think these girls, this is a special group that I have, and hopefully we can continue that success, through October and hopefully playing in November.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach, for talking with us today, and look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.